Welcome to Backstage with Kennedy. This little show will be your remedy. From Toronto, spanning across the sea. Cool people, lots of laughs. This is your favorite podcast.
Hello and welcome. My name's Kennedy from the Backstage with Kennedy podcast. I got a really cool guest today. We've been kind of like talking on social media for a bit. I met his girlfriend probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago now, and really got along with her. I feel like I've gotten along equally as well with Greg here, and I'm really happy to have him on the podcast. So I got tattoo artist and musician Greg Laraignè, and I'm super amped to have him on. How you doing today, Greg? What's new, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for having me, and a good job on the pronunciation of my name.
Thanks, man. Thanks. So I want to get into tattooing a little bit to start here. I saw the other day that you've been doing this for quite a while now. Like, I think it's like 15 years, you said?
Yeah, it's been 15 years.
What got you into tattooing? Because, I mean, that's not something that everybody has the talent for. And it's not like all people who can draw and stuff can do that. So what really made you go, you know what, I want to do that?
It's so funny because I was attracted by it like really, really early. But like really, it's the music that got me into it. I was really trying hard to work in the music industry, and little by little I ended up in a tattoo shop, and I got offered like a job and to learn how to tattoo, and it was pretty crazy. I said yes right away. I didn't think twice. But no, it's I was younger. I don't think I was a teenager yet, but like I saw this guy covered in tattoos skateboarding, and I was like, oh my god, like I thought it was just so cool. So I was super attracted by it, and I was like, one day when I'll be an adult, I'll get like, I was like, when I'll be older, I'll get only my sleeves and my legs. That's all, you know. But I didn't want anyone. I wanted right away everything, and nowadays, like I have way more than that. But it's funny how it really made that impact on me to see that guy. I thought it was just like it was just so different from everything I could see in my life when I was a kid, for example, and I thought it was just super cool to as a lifestyle. It just looked so cool, you know.
Absolutely, man. I love the aesthetic too. I mean, I don't have many tattoos. I think I have like 8 in total or something like that. But my parents are like, every time they see me, they're like, "Is that a new one? Is that a new one?" And I'm like,
man. My mother is always asking me if I have my neck. It's been done like almost 10 years, not more than 10 years now, and she's always asking me like, "Is that a new one?" I'm like, no, you've seen that one already. But she can't really follow. I just get new ones all the time, you know.
Exactly. So were you like a really, obviously music and tattooing are both extremely creative things. Were you like, would you say more into like the arts and stuff when you were young? Was that kind of like the thing you found yourself focusing on, like as you were growing up in like high school and stuff like that?
It is very ironic because I wasn't at all. Like, I never really drew. I was asking my father if he could help me with my like hard work, like school, like project, because I was not enjoying it. I was not good at it. And I was attracted by music a lot, and I was listening to a lot of music, and I started learning music. Like I went in that like city band, you know, like learn how to play a trumpet and stuff, so I just kept doing it. But the reason why I was into it was mostly because of the crew thing more than like the music itself. I didn't enjoy what we were playing much. I was not a fan of my instrument, but the whole like camaraderie around this, making friends, was like super. It was something I really enjoyed, and no wonder like later I got super attracted by punk rock and hardcore and other stuff, you know, because it's the same feeling of like being part of a crew somehow.
That community feel can really drag you in. I mean, that's kind of what got me into music, really. I started just listening, and then just like you know what I mean? I got that taste of like the community of the music scene, especially the punk rock scene. And then I was hooked. I'm like, I can't get out of this, man.
And punk rock is so special because like it's like when I started listen to it, I was like still pretty young, and it was still something quite like underground.
Yeah.
And I like tattooing. I was super intrigued by it and attracted by it, and then I discovered all the values around it, and I thought it was actually great, and it really fit the way I was feeling since I was a kid. And yeah, it's awesome.
Greg, if you could describe your style as a tattoo artist, like I know that some artists will like really focus in and that, you know, they'll do flash art the best, or they'll do writing the best. What has been kind of your specialty, would you say, as a tattoo artist? And I mean, I've seen all your work. You do a bunch of great different stuff. So what do you think is like your best aspect in tattooing?
It is a tough question. I'm never happy with my art for some reason. Think I will think ahead. Like I don't think I could tell. I can't tell you what I think is the best. All I know is where I want to go. And at the moment, I'm really into Japanese, and I want to work on bigger projects. I really love the aspect of like a tattoo on the bodies. That's why I really like working on sleeves and back piece and bodysuits, because to me, you can create a dynamic that you can't really do with a one point design, you know. And right now I'm really into this. I also love letterings. I like black and gray stuff. When I started tattooing, I learned all the classics, and since then it feels like it's hard to like choose one thing and do it and that's it, because I love everything around, you know. And yeah, so I would say right now I'm really into Japanese, but I would do a lot of letterings too. It's something I really enjoy, and I really have like it feels like I have like I don't really struggle when I draw it, and that's what I enjoy. But Japanese is really challenging. But it's not saying that lettering is not challenging at all, but I've done so many that I reach this like ability to feel comfortable when I do it.
You're now looking for that next exciting thing, right?
Yes. And it's I've been into it for a while now. It's been a few years that I'm working on it, and it feels like it just gets more difficult every time. And yeah, I love this. It's a very complicated style, and it doesn't look like it, and I enjoy that a lot.
So flipping things over to your music side, you kind of do this like I don't want to call it folk punk because it is not folk punk, but that like singer songwriter kind of folky vocals with actually talking about like a lot of like punk aspects, like punk topics and such. What got you into that genre specifically? Was it just your punk influence and like what you really listened to kind of peeking through, but that soothing voice that you got?
It's funny. It's definitely life. I was in a punk rock band for years, and but when I was younger, I would listen to a lot of like Western music and country music, and I was listening to Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan when I was way younger, and I just kind of gave up on this style, and I got into punk rock and just went into it so deeply. And I started that band and fast and a lot of harmonies, and it was really fun. And I had a great time with that band from Switzerland. It was called Hateful Monday. And at one point we got in I wanted to play way more, and life made it like difficult for everybody else in the band. So I just started to play my own stuff. and that was it. I just worked on a few songs. So obviously, I couldn't get away from the punk rock spirit, and yeah, it's definitely in there somewhere, but it's mostly folk, Americana. I wouldn't say country, but I guess some people can feel it, and it's really hard to describe what I do.
And I love it, man. I found your lyrics very powerful. That was one thing that really stood out to me listening to your discography you got there. So Greg, you've lived in Burlington. I mean, you've lived in Montreal, and you've lived in Toronto now. You
Yeah.
recently moved to Toronto, but I know that you have been back and forth in the past over the years. And on this podcast, I like to really focus on, bringing up a venue or two, and maybe a story you have to go with that. So, what's your favorite? If it's tough to say your favorite, but what's a venue in Montreal that means a lot to you, and what's a venue in Toronto that means a lot to you? And do you have any interesting stories to go with those venues?
Wow. It is a good question. I would say that, like, in Montreal, I really enjoy Fufun Electric, because I saw so many great intense shows there, and it's got, like, you can go to many other places, but this place has a very special vibe. And yeah, I think, like, have you been there already ever, or?
I haven't. I was planning on going to Pooza Fest, like what was it,
man.
last year? And I was so excited for it, and then COVID happened. But I was like, I'm excited to go to Foops. This is the first time, man.
So many good venues in Montreal. I loved a place called Catacombs, but unfortunately they closed down. And it was also a great place. But, like, to me, it's mostly like the history I have with Fufun Electric. I used to go there a lot. I saw so many shows, and the way it's done, it's like, the stage is really high. So I'm not a tall guy, so I really enjoy being able to watch a show and see actually what's going on stage. And but it's like, it's kind of like, it's dark, and it's like, it's not it looks tiny, but it's not. But everybody's, like, really close together when the show is there, and I really like that place. It's really cool. It's very, again, it's very punk rock, very metal. And yeah, I really enjoyed every show I saw there. After that, there is all those bigger, like, music center, I would call them, like Metropolis, Club Soda. They're really good quality, but it's really enjoyable to watch a show there because everything is so perfect, but you don't have that spirit, So I would say Montreal was like Fufun Electric. I saw so many good shows. There was that one night I think was Flatliners, Bouncing Souls, Hot Water Music, and it was for Puzza Fest, and it was super sold out. Who else was playing there? It was such a great night.
There was more to that lineup. That was loaded.
Yeah, it was Puzza Fest, so it was like, it was way more bands, but it was every band after the other was just, like, so good. And yeah, that night was, like, really good. I can't really remember everything. It was that good.
All right, let's flip it over to Toronto. I mean, you've definitely spent some time here over the years, but what's caught your heart recently, venue-wise, out here?
Well, definitely Sneaky D's.
Yeah.
I love the place. I love the people there. I love the spirit, and yeah, I really enjoy going there every time. I saw smaller shows there, and it was really fun. And it felt like I felt that, like, Fufun Electric kind of vibe. So I guess that's why I'm really attracted by it. But it's just super fun, and everybody there is super fun, and I really enjoy this. And I went to there's that one show I saw to oh my god, I can't remember. the name now. I will come back. It was a bigger venue, an old theater kind of thing. Like
A theater in Toronto.
yeah, it will come back. But yeah,
Yeah.
I guess
Absolutely. So I was thinking you're gonna go in the direction of Sneaky D's because of the nachos, because they got the best nachos there.
it's a constant struggle with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have some of my favorite dish on that on that menu. You know, like the nachos are incredible. It's great.
Absolutely. So what's new? What's coming up for you, Greg? What have you been working on? Obviously, with the pandemic, it's kind of put a little bit of a hitch on your tattooing business. But like, what is coming up? Where are you going to be based out of when it comes to tattooing once we reopen in Ontario again? What can you tell me?
So I'm gonna be working at a Hidden Door. It's kind of a private shop, specialized in Japanese and Asian design. The two person I'm working with there are really good and really nice, and it's a good step for me, especially since I really want to focus on that style. And it's on Dundas and Bloor, so yeah. It's a really good spot. It's beautiful in there, and it's a really good vibe. I really like it. Can't wait to work there. Can't wait.
I can't wait to come in and get a tattoo from you, man. Like I mean, obviously the Leafs didn't beat the Habs. I'm gonna leave it at that. So I'm not getting a Leafs tattoo this year, but I do have a couple pieces in mind that I do want to get worked on. So we could definitely set something up for sure, man.
Yeah, no problem at all. I would do the Leafs tattoo if you want. I'm not gonna hurt you. Not because I want to.
I need a reasoning. I need something to be like, okay, now I can go get it. I can't, man. I'm so heartbroken about about the Leafs that I can't even think about them right now. I need like 3 months off.
I understand. Like I have to be honest. Like I was super happy that Montreal made it, and I really like that team. Especially the new team this year is incredible. But I was really hoping for Toronto to win because the pandemic has been such a hard hit on that city, and I think people would really have enjoyed at least seeing the Leafs going further. And that night, like, it made me sad. I was like happy for Montreal, but I was like, it sucks because Toronto would have really would have been good for the mental, like the spirit of everybody.
Yeah, it would have been nice to rally around that, even if it was an extra series. You know what I mean? Even if we got swept by Winnipeg.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
No, it would have been great. Like, really, it made me mad. I was like, not mad, but sad. Like, I was like, I'm a good sport, if Montreal would have lost, like, yeah. But yeah, I was like, I wished like Toronto made it. Like, sorry for everybody in Montreal or every Montreal's fan that's gonna listen to me. It's not against the team. It's really to help people go through what's going on in Toronto. That's never ending,
I really appreciated the banter with you. I mean, it was all in good sport. I never felt attacked throughout it all. It was good, man. It was good.
Great. I'm not like, you know what? Like, I think I'm like this. Like, I like making jokes. Like the first game, like it was the Leafs against the Habs. We had that, like, because my girlfriend is obviously for the Leafs, and she's a hardcore fan. And I was for the Habs, and we bet that like the one who lost would sleep in the bathtub. So every time the Habs would lose, everybody would text me a good night in the bathtub, and everybody was like kind of like joking with me because I was gonna sleep in the bathtub. And I was like kind of happy this time that we won.
I mean, and hey, man, you weren't sleeping in a bathtub through the playoffs at least. That was it was a one-time thing.
But I'm used to that. Like when you're a touring musician, you're used to sleeping in really weird places. So,
Greg, tell me what is a one of the most ridiculous tour stories that you have that you feel like you need to share with the world?
You know what? I have stories that are actually great, and I would rather say that than like something funny.
Yeah.
Because every band has a crazy funny story to talk about.
Yeah.
But to me, it was like I have a few that really changed my views when I was touring. It's the fact sometimes you go to places and people don't have much and they give you everything they have, so you can play a few songs and they're so happy to have you. But I remember that day we were in Belgium, and I was touring with a friend of mine who is a great singer-songwriter. His name is PJ Bond. And it might have been in 2011. Yeah, probably 2011. And we were in Belgium, and we had stopped to do a few groceries to be able to eat a few things on the road, because buying out every day is too expensive sometimes. That's the thing of a tour. You don't really know if you're going to make money, so you have to be smart while you're doing it. So we had a few groceries, and we are making sandwiches on a parking lot, and this homeless person comes and asks for a bit of money, and we were like, well, we can't really help you right now, but we can make you a sandwich. And he was so happy, the smile on his face, like, because he couldn't believe it. And we made him a sandwich, and it was just such a good moment with him, and we shared like sandwich together, and he said thank you, and he bounced, and we got in the car, and we really felt, sometimes you're touring and you're tired, and sometimes you're disappointed of the shows, sometimes you're really happy by some shows, sometimes you go somewhere and it's not as good and you're expecting better. But that moment made us realize that, like, we were really lucky to do what we love and drive around Europe to go play our songs that talks about us. Strangers that are paying an entrance to come listen to what we have to say, and listen to us sing and sing with us. And I thought it was just great. I miss this kind of moments, like I really miss it. And I can't wait to be back on the road and have more good times like this one, like parties and funny stories and disgusting places and good places. There is so many stories like this from every band, but that one is one that is pretty good to me, to remember how lucky I am.
That's heartwarming too. You know what I mean? Like the idea of you doing a good deed for someone who is down on their luck. You know what I mean? And they'll remember that. They'll remember that for sure.
Yeah,
you did. They will. It was beneficial to everybody.
It was just nice, and it was just like, sometimes we tend to forget that people in the street are human beings. Like I've seen some terrible behaviors in the past that always freaks me out. And we all go through our lives, and we all have our realities, but it is not true that people that live in the street, they all decided to, they all wanted to. I mean, this is like a crazy story some people build in their head, because life is not as easy for everyone. We're not all equals. We're not born the same, like in the same little cocoon, you know what I mean? And some people have it rough, man. So yeah, it was great to have this moment with that person.
So Greg, what do you have going forward for your music? Are you going to be releasing anything coming up? What do you got to work on for that?
So I have a record that is ready, and it is on its way to be pressed as a vinyl. It's gonna be out hopefully in November. I don't want to rush anything, but by the end of the year it should be out. I recorded it in Toronto with Matt Snell in a super cool tiny studio, but just a great little place that's super warm, and he did a great job. And it was produced by Eamon McGrath.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. So I'm really proud of what we did, the three of us, and and their input was perfect for what I was expecting and where I wanted to go with my music. So I can't wait to share it. During the pandemic, I really wanted to put it online and just like forget about like a real release, just share it with people. But I decided to be patient. That record deserved a real lifespan, and I just want to put it out like the right way. So it's going to be out on Snappy Little Numbers, which is a Denver record label, and Shield Recordings, which is from the Netherlands.
Perfect. That's really awesome. That's really awesome to hear.
It's great.
Dude. So yeah, I guess when you put that out, fingers crossed, hopefully that we can see it live. Hopefully you'll be able to do a little bit of a tour for that, because that'd be a beautiful thing, my friend.
Yeah, I really want to. That's the goal. I was thinking if I can put it out in November, I would love to be able to play shows and go on tour in March. It seems that things are getting better, and maybe I can start playing before that. I would love to. And yeah, if anybody listen to this that like organize shows in their backyards or anything, I would love to come play a few songs for people, because it's fun to play at home. I'm not a big fan of live streams, but unfortunately we had to do that a little bit. But what I really miss is sharing this with people, you know.
Absolutely, man. Well, Greg, I'm going to wrap this up, brother. I appreciate you for coming on the podcast. Everybody, please go check out Greg's music. Great dude. And very, very talented nonetheless. If you need some ink, also talk to Greg, because I've seen his stuff on Instagram and it is fire. Thanks,
you,
brother. You have a good one. All right, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and have a good one too. Let's watch a Habs game together.
Okay.
Take care, man. Thank you. Bye.
Buns, check.
Hot dogs, mustard, check.
Ketchup.
Hot stuff. Nah.
Where's the hot stuff? I didn't bring any.
Yeah.
So good with the hot stuff? Very good with the hot stuff.